Guard your marketing dollars, meaning deploy them in the highest, obviously the highest profit centers. There's a lot of people that I've met over the years that have, they're going out of business or have gone out of business. And it's because the marketing dollars kind of got away from a conversion standpoint. And also be cautious on the retail. If you're in the fix and flip space, be cautious on your retail value of the assets and also the renovation estimates that you're getting on the individual assets that you're projecting, because those numbers, obviously can be off, very quickly. So just make sure you budget appropriately. And then also in certain states, like the Sunbelt type states, just make sure you budget for the reduction in the retail value of the asset over a 6-month hold. You can still buy during a declining market. You can still buy, renovate, and sell during a declining market. You just have to budget. Hey, I think it's going to go down 15% in value or 10% in value over the next year. So you got to factor in the, 5% or 7.5% reduction in the asset value and buffering in a solid return on the capital.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Branden Grimshaw, who's the owner and founder of iBuyHomes.com. Great URL. Wonderful URL. And we're going to talk all about how he built this in really, really impressive business. So thank you for being here, Branden.
Appreciate you having me on.
So what drew you to real estate in the beginning?
When I was in college, first semester of my freshman year of college, I was reading books on real estate investing, and I called my father up and I told him, I said, Dad, I went to Palm Beach Atlantic University in West Palm Beach, Florida, from Cincinnati, Ohio, so 1,000 miles away. And I called my dad the first semester freshman year, and I said, I know what I want to do and I don't need to go to college anymore. And he goes, great, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a real estate investor. I want to buy rental properties. I want to buy and sell houses to make cash to be able to buy those rental properties. He goes, that's great. You can read all the books you want, but you're going to college. You're going to finish. So that's where I realized that after a couple of books and my dad being in the business in the rental space in Cincinnati, owning about 20 doors. I got to work on those as a kid and never had any interest in being a real estate investor when I was working on the properties. But then after I learned that it could be done differently, then that was freshman year of college. And then I went through college, finished, and literally started my real estate investing journey July of 2004. So yeah, and that's where the hunger started. And then I used the time in college to learn and read. And then I connected to a mentor. So right when I graduated, I was able to work underneath an individual in Palm Beach County, and he mentored me for 2 years. It was kind of like what I consider like a master's degree in real estate. So we were, it was very, very productive 2-year period. And then I went out on my own in 2006. So I've had my company for almost 20 years now, buying and selling.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Single family homes in addition to buying rental properties as well.
Wow. I mean, that's so amazing. People go to college and have no idea what they want to do with their lives afterward. And you just knew right away before you even stepped
I got lucky.
Yeah. And your dad was in the industry as well.
He was in the industry on the rental side only.
Yeah. Was he a source of help as you were getting started?
Yeah, I mean, he helped me. Honestly, like I love my father. My dad works with me now in Cincinnati in our Cincinnati office as a project manager. He was an aerospace engineer, had a fantastic career in that space. But I learned a lot of what I wanted to do in real estate, actually, which was the opposite of how he operated in the business. So I learned a lot of things that I didn't want to do, inside the space, like actually doing the renovations yourself. So I learned how to manage the process and build systems and processes around the business of flipping houses and rental properties as well.
Yeah, I'd love for you to talk more about your systems that you have in place.
Okay. So we custom built in the buying and selling company, the iBuy Homes, the engine behind it. We built a custom software platform that we basically use as kind of like a virtual assembly line for processing single family homes. And that's both on the wholesaling front and the retailing front. And so the software basically works as a CRM on the front end. So all of our lead channels, the acquisition reps are all dialed into it. Everything from the initiation of the lead all the way through to the contracts, all the way through after we, whether we wholesale it or we retail it. If we close on it, then it goes into like an asset management type portal, and my asset manager then processes the files out and works with the agents and the contractors to get the homes fixed up and sold.
Wow. Yes. You guys have systems in place for sure.
Yeah. That's just on the fix and flip. And that's just, kind of a high level version of it. It's very in depth. It's kind of like at this point, it's kind of built out like QuickBooks where, we use 20% of what we developed, but it's still the 20% is very effective at managing what we do.
Amazing. And so tell us about kind of the impetus of iBuyHomes.com. When did you have the idea to actually kind of go on your own and really start something big?
Yeah. So we had in the 2011, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 timeframe, we were buying and selling one of the top buying and selling companies in Palm Beach County, Florida at the county auctions. And so at some point in 2015, 2016, when all the hedge funds were taking over, they were buying they were bid compressing us down to where we couldn't make any money buying at the auctions. I ended up going and connecting with an individual named Todd Hutchinson out of Orlando, Florida. And Todd had started iBuyHomes.com back in the early 2000s. Had it live, I think it was like 2002. It was live. And he was generating a ton of leads on iBuyHomes.com all over the country. And so I connected with him, and then we ended up basically a year and a half later, we ended up working out an arrangement where I could purchase the domain and the business from him. And we ended up doing that in 2017. And we bought the brand, bought the URL from him. And then since 2017, when we started to process the houses, we basically went through 4 different iterations of how do you process a lead and be able to buy and sell houses all over the country, right? How do you retail houses all over the country, right? And so at the end of the day, we went through it was the 4th iteration after 2 years. We failed the first 3 times of taking all of these leads. We ended up working out an agreement with Todd before we bought the site a year and a half earlier when I first met him to start generating leads from him. And then we used that year and a half to figure out how to effectively process leads all over the country. And it was the 4th iteration that actually worked. Our model now is currently 60% wholesale nationally and 60 to 70% wholesale nationally and 20 to 30% retailing houses all over the country.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Wow. And it seems like lead generation is just such a strength of your business. You guys, you're
It's
hundreds a day.
Yeah, hundreds a day, not necessarily from our own website. We have strategic relationships with some big lead generators that we have a revenue sharing model with, and so we work with them to be able to convert. Our own sites generate leads, but it's the bulk of our leads are actually from some strategic relationships that we work with.
That's amazing. And you guys buy and sell so many homes, throughout 30 states. Tell us about just working in so many different markets and kind of the thought that has to go into working, in different states.
Yeah, I mean, one of the keys is that you still have to have a boots on the ground person. Because of technology that's there now, we can get our acquisition team to where they're very dialed in on, very close to within 10% variance, 10 to 15% variance on both the retail value of the asset and the renovation costs that are needed. But you still need to have a boots on the ground person. So in our space, we actually have an REO listing agent that goes out to the property and does a BPO for us. And so they walk the property, they give us their opinion of what it's worth, and then they submit that report. And we're doing that just under 100 times a month, with agents around the country. And we've got a team that coordinates that. And anyway, and then the other key is to make sure that you've got a really good, we have we have a weighted average approach to both the retail value of the asset and the renovation amounts that we're going to be spending. And that weighted, it's basically built into the system. It's very, very close on what actually happens within the business. And so we lean on that weighted average valuation model on both the retail value of the asset and the renovation costs expected to go into the asset. And so we lean on that heavy, and that's auto built into it's a program we built into the software platform.
Wow. So it sounds like you just have such an amazing team.
We have a fantastic team. That's the best part of the business, is the people we get to work with.
And how do you tell us some tips about how to, foster a great team and how to do hiring? I imagine on a large scale, it's just very difficult.
Yeah, and we're not a huge team. I mean, we have a team. I think if you count the management, we're at almost just under 20 employees total, not counting contractors and and project managers and agents that we work with all over the country. But the internal team is around 20. And the key that we've found is we found most of our top talent through referrals and through I wouldn't say recruiting from competitors, potentially even indirectly without actually doing it. People come to us that know that we're in the space and they say, hey, I'm looking to make a move. And, we'll take that very slowly, obviously. But yeah, most of our, honestly, the biggest way that we've recruited is God's brought the right people in at the right timing. That's honestly the number one.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
As people have come to the business at the right time when we needed them. And so I don't have a great story of, hey, you can recruit people through this channel of being able to hire. Haven't had a great success in hiring from, 100 resumes down to 5, down to the interviews and hiring the right person. We've had it's been a lot of that has brought us the right people at the right time. And that's really the credit I have to give, because if you ask my team, how did everybody get here? It was through referrals from people that come and work with us. They refer their friends, and that's that in addition to people coming. So anyways, hopefully that answers it. But
Yeah, I mean, success breeds success, where if you're, doing a great job and have employees that love working for you, it's going to bring more employees in who want to work for you.
yeah, 100%.
And what is your perspective just generally on the market right now? I know there's a lot of people who are very scared or reticent to enter. What would be your perspective on it?
Guard your marketing dollars, meaning deploy them in the highest, obviously the highest profit centers. There's a lot of people that I've met over the years that have, they're going out of business or have gone out of business. And it's because the marketing dollars kind of got away from a conversion standpoint. And also be cautious on the retail. If you're in the fix and flip space, be cautious on your retail value of the assets and also the renovation estimates that you're getting on the individual assets that you're projecting, because those numbers, obviously can be off, very quickly. So just make sure you budget appropriately. And then also in certain states, like the Sun Belt type states, just make sure you budget for the reduction in the retail value of the asset over a 6-month hold. You can still buy during a declining market. You can still buy, renovate, and sell during a declining market. You just have to budget. Hey, I think it's going to go down 15% in value or 10% in value over the next year. So you got to factor in the, 5% or 7.5% reduction in the asset value and buffering in a solid return on the capital.
Is there a specific geographical region or regions that you are really loving right now?
Ohio, we've got an office in Palm Beach and an office in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we are going in, I believe, heavily in the Cincinnati market from a rental standpoint. So I am buying rental properties here in Cincinnati. We have a little bit over 70 houses. So I own a little bit over 70 houses, about half of those in Palm Beach County, Florida, and half of those in Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio. And so we really like the Ohio market. We like the Midwest, Indiana, Ohio. And then Palm Beach. Obviously, I spent a lot of time in Palm Beach. I bought collectively between the time in Palm Beach and what we do nationally. I've done just right around 3,300 transactions, and single family home, buy, renovate, and sell, or buy and wholesale transactions. And I would say that right now, the South and the South and part of the West, that's where we're seeing the biggest declines that that have even affected our own numbers, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to point out that there's still opportunity, in other areas of the country, even if your market is not necessarily popping off right now.
Sure.
I love that. And so what would be maybe something you've learned along the way, maybe a mistake that turned into a great lesson?
A mistake that turned into a great lesson. Trying to think of when we were transitioning from the buying and, the buying, renovating, and selling houses business in Palm Beach County, where we were buying the properties from the county auctions. I think, I stayed in the flow of doing the due diligence. The team was there. We were compressing our margins, rate compressing our margins at the county auction down from, 25% to 22% to 20%, 18%. And we ended up getting down to the 15% margin on the fix and flips, bidding against the hedge funds in 2015, 2016. And I would have probably cut the cord a little bit earlier instead of trying to compete against the hedge funds and moved on a little bit faster. It was a little bit of a transition that took probably 2 to 3 years to get back in the flow of real transaction volume. But we ended up also building out the iBuyer type model internally, which did take some time. And so not to say that it did take time, but we've got a very effective model that's in place now. But yeah, so that transition period, maybe switching the way we were buying houses would have been faster, would have been good. But again, I don't really know if I just accidentally ran into Todd at a meeting and at a meeting in Orlando, a real estate investor meeting, which I rarely go to. So that was another God connection where I was sitting at the table with him and he was interested in selling his site that took 1.5 years to buy. Anyways.
Yeah, I think it's a good point to be open to opportunities and open to talking with people around you, because you never know what's going to really affect your journey.
Yeah, the other thing is firing the people need to be fired. like letting them go sooner than later. I would say I believe heavily in the people that I have around me and the team that I have around me. But when you know that it needs to happen, ripping the Band-Aid off and moving forward with removing somebody from the organization, I've only found positives in removing people that needed to be removed, and the people inside your organization are the ones that are going to tell you who really your key leaders are going to be the ones that tell you who really shouldn't be there in the first place. So like any longer. So listening to those individuals
Right.
within your organization.
Hire slow, fire fast for sure. It makes a big difference in company culture too. You don't want a bad seed to ruin it for everyone else.
Yep, absolutely.
So you've built, I mean, such an impressive business. What's next for you?
We're going from, we have a majority of our lead generation is national. So it's across the entire United States. We're at a total of around 250 to 300 leads a day. And we are going to continue to keep rolling with the national buying and fixing and selling business, the national wholesaling operation. But what we're also going to be doing is we're setting up the turnkey operation in Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio. So we have some turnkey investors that want to buy, 100, 150 houses a year. So we're going to be, providing those assets to them, and also the management structure for them as well. In addition, we're going to be setting up strategic locations to where we do a drilled down marketing campaign like a traditional operator would do. And we do that in specific markets and, get the transaction volume going, 4 to 5, 6 houses a month in each location. And those are the two main areas. We are also considering doing a licensing type business with the iBuyHomes brand, where we pair together the iBuyHomes brand with software platform to run the individual's business and some AI tools that we're in the process of developing internally to be able to help with conversions. So that's another opportunity that we are going to be exploring.
Amazing. Well, it sounds very exciting. Where can people find you?
They can find us right at ibuyhomes.com. If you'd like, I can put I prefer not to put my personal number on there, but yeah. So if they can connect with us directly through ibuyhomes.com.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here, Branden.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
And thank you everyone for listening. I hope that you learned a lot, and we'll see you back next time. Bye.
All right. Take care. See ya.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.